Hello, today we're gonna do journal presentation club. We're gonna talk an insight about solar dryer as a sustainable technology for environmentally friendly agriculture and food drying. I'm Zainab Kaisha Fidini, an undergraduate student from Chemical Engineering of Industrial Engineering Faculty, Universitas Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Yogyakarta. I will take you surfing in this video. Our content today is Introduction, Solar Drying Technologies, Type Solar Drying Process, Thermal Energy Materials called TES, TES in different solar dryers, indicators of the performance, consideration of heat storage, variable of dry product quality, economy of solar dryer, environmental impact, conclusion and future outlook. Food wastage is a serious global problem, causing significant economic losses and impacting food availability for millions of people. From the harvesting stage to the consumer, factors such as improper handling, inadequate storage, and lack of awareness lead to large amounts of food being wasted every year. As a result, not only are resources such as water and land wasted, but it also contributes to rising food prices and hunger issues in various parts around the world, including in Australia and African countries. Millions of dollars are spent each year on unused goods in Australia, while in Africa, post-harvest losses on food commodities such as cereals, fruits, and vegetables account for every significant percentage. These losses not only impact the country's economy, but also the availability of food for millions of people. India also suffers from a similar problem with a large amount of agricultural products being wasted per year. This shows the urgency of finding solutions to reduce food wastage and improve efficiency in the food supply chain. About one-third of the food produced each year ends up as waste. This phenomenon is not only economically costly, but also has environmental and social impacts. Developed and developing countries both contribute to this problem, albeit with different patterns of wastage. Developed countries tend to waste more food at the retail and consumption stage, while developing countries experience more losses at the post-harvest and processing stage. Vegetables, fruits, and tubers are the most wasted food groups. The significant difference in per capita food consumption levels between developed and developing countries also highlights the inequalities in global food production and consumption. Not only lead to hunger in the midst of abundant food resources, but it also contributes to the waste of natural resources and increased greenhouse gas emissions. The causes of food waste range from inefficient agricultural practices to wasteful consumer behavior. Addressing this problem requires a collective effort involving all parties in the supply chain, from farmers to consumers. Conventional drying of food products often involves high energy consumption and results in significant greenhouse gas emissions, while also having drawbacks such as long drying times and poor product quality. To address these issues, solar drying technology is emerging as a more environmentally friendly and sustainable alternative. Solar dryer, which can be combined with various natural energy storage materials, offer the potential to improve energy efficiency, reduce operational costs, and produce better quality products. In-depth research on solar dryer has been conducted, including comparative analysis of different types of dryers, evaluation of the performance of energy storage materials, and the impact of using solar dryers on product quality, economy, and environment. Solar dryers have great potential to become a sustainable solution in the food and agricultural processing industry. Drying is a process of food preservation that includes evaporating water from harvested products to prevent the growth of bacteria. Owing to the free and abundant energy from the sun, open solar drying is the one of oldest known food processing and storage strategies for drying agro-goods. However, technological advancement led to thermal process for use in agro-industry for processing and storage of food. The inherent drawbacks of conventional energy source and the benefits associated with solar energy such as cost effectiveness and efficiency provide long-term solutions for ecological development. Solar radiation was abundantly available globally, which replaced the traditional way of drying for preserving fruits and vegetables for a maximum number of days. Food drying is also a difficult process that involves inconsistencies in heat and mass transmission, as well as physical and chemical reactions that might impair product quality. It is a difficult process that includes simultaneous mass and heat transmission along with physicochemical change. A crucial step in production of many different kinds of chemical production is the adjustment and control of moisture levels in solid materials by drying. Since it is employed in almost every plant and facility that produce or process solid materials, in the form of powder and granules, drying solid material is of the most popular and significant unit operation in the chemical process industries. The quality of the final product and the effectiveness of drying operations can both be significantly impacted by the chemical process industry. Food drying is a diversified field as different foods require different types of drying processes. A natural or manufactured substance can be dried to remove surplus water and bring it up to the required moisture content. It requires a lot of energy to operate. Reducing the moisture level of foods is especially important because they often have substantially larger water contents than those appropriate for long-term storage. Enzymes, bacteria, yeasts, and molds take longer to develop when there is less moisture in the milk. As a result, food can be kept and stored for a long period without going bad. The process of completely removing moisture from food until there's none left is another example of drying. When ready for usage, dehydrated food is rehydrated and nearly returns to its original state. For agricultural products, especially those produced in medium to small quantities, solar energy drying is a fairly cost-effective method for preserving extra output. It is eco-friendly and it is still used to dry foodstuffs, agricultural products, and crops on a domestic up to small commercial scale, greatly boosting the income of small agricultural farms and communities. Based on this, a variety of solar drying processes have evolved as follows. First, natural or direct sun drying, then indirect sun drying, and last, mixed mode sun drying. Open sun drying (OSD) using open dryers is the process of drying materials which are positioned on trays of thin layers, ground, concrete floors, or muds. The process of exposing the drying materials to open wind and sun is illustrated in this figure. It is the best traditional and variable method because OSD is not dependent on other sources of energy. No additional provisions are required for drying products. Is the most cost-effective process and skillful labor is also not required. However, OSD has several drawbacks, prompting researchers to hunt for alternatives. The potential for product damage from birds, insects, and animals is one of the main drawbacks. Rain, air humidity, and dew can all cause product degradation. Loss as a result of over-drying, spoilage due to the polyreversion of microorganisms can take place. A slightly modified method of OSD is natural or direct solar drying, which is also considered traditional for dehydrating agricultural produce. It consists of a translucent cover, as illustrated in this figure, which is intended to diminish temperature losses and to safeguard the foodstuff from rain and dust. Its working principle is based on a direct solar dehydration strategy, and it is used to dry a variety of items. A portion of the solar energy reflected on the transparent cover is transmitted within the box dryer, while the remainder is reflected. Furthermore, the food surface reflects the amount of solar radiation. The temperature of the substance rises, and it dehydrates. The air blasted into the cabin dryer removes the moisture in the food substance. Lee et al. Dried corn for 240 hours. The moisture content of the material drops by almost 16% to 14% weight percentage. To reduce the moisture level by 1%, 1.24 kilowatt is consumed for every ton of grain. One of the best methods for dehydration uses heat pumps with low power consumption of 1.24 kilowatt per ton. And then another example of direct sun drying process. Demir et al. Dried tomatoes. The tomatoes' moist concentration almost diminished from 11 kg to 0.1 kg of water per kilogram when it is dried for 101 hours in the open sun, but it takes only 86 hours in the solar tunnel dryer. From their research, combination solar dryer is recommended for tomatoes. Insects, rain, and dust were removed from the samples dried in the solar tunnel dryer, and the dried samples were of outstanding color and hygienic quality. The indirect method of sun dehydration is more competent than the direct dehydration method, and it is used to dry a variety of items. Through indirect sun dehydration, ambient air temperature is raised with a flat plate collector. In this method, forced convection and natural convection system are the two types of indirect sun dryers. Depending on how the air is passed over food, material quality necessitates low temperature. The disadvantage of direct solar dehydration are mitigated by using an indirect solar dehydration method. Caramelization and localized heat damage are rare since sun radiation are not openly striking the agro products. These are ideal for preserving vitamins as well as color in highly pigmented goods. A flexible insulated conduct is commonly used to connect the separate air heater and drying rooms. The north side of the drying chamber has door that allows loading. The air collector can be angled to capture the optimum amount of solar energy at the time of year when the dried crop is collected. For example, Debly et al. Dried potatoes in an indirect solar dryer as shown below. The moisture content of figs decreased from 70% to 20% when dried without storage material for 32 hours and with storage material for just 12 hours. After the relative accuracy of 7 theoretical models was examined, the drying curve of potato slice using two dryers was found the best fit two new dimensionless models. And in other example, when L. Beltagi et al. Dried strawberries, the dehydration times for whole half, quarter, and disc strawberries were 28, 26, 20, and 20 hours, respectively. Small farms can use indirect solar dryers, which produce high-quality strawberries even in unfavorable weather. And Aben et al. Dried grapes at a dehydration low of 31.3 meter cubic per hour meter square. The dehydration period was 30 hours. The heat transfer, which in turn affects the output, temperature, and performance of the collector, was significantly better compared to the collector without a barrier. Mixed mode drying generates the necessary heat for the drying process by combining the effects of solar radiation impacting the material to be dried with air heated by a solar collector. Solar dryers have used a range of phase transition and sensible thermal energy storage methods with a focus on the usage of rock beds. Many self-contained solar dryers do not require supplementary heating since thermal mass enable short-term storage of heat to allow drying process even in bad weather. Agro goods which are quickly drying are the most suitable products for thermal energy storage methods, as the thermal mass is hardly enough to withstand the overnight drying process. Agricultural materials are dried in a hybrid dryer using direct sun radiation and backup storage in the event of a power outage. In the study of Jebli et al., to predict the kinetics and thermodynamics of tomato drying process, mixed type dryer was used and then obtained for flat slice. The drying time ranged from 5 hours to 21.25 hours. For the wedges, the drying time ranged from 8.5 hours to 23.25 hours. In addition, Metlopa et al. Used a hybrid solar dryer to dry tea. Results showed the hybrid sun dryer is recommended at low water temperatures. The moisture content of the mangoes was reduced to 23% using mixed mode drying and 46.9% when exposed to open sunlight for the same time. This dryer is considered to remove moisture from mangoes during winter, and there are various collectors. The combined solar drying produce high-quality dried products. And in Karami et al. Study, the dryer was able to dry 30 kg of banana slices in 8 hours and identified the moisture content reduced from 82% to 18% weight percentage. The hybrid solar drying process excels in the retaining the color, aroma, and texture of sun-dried items. Advantage and disadvantage of time. First, advantage of direct dryer. Direct dryer has simple construction, loading and unloading are straightforward. The dryer is rain and dust resistant, and agro products can be dried at night or in the rain. There is less product contamination as a result of the enclosure's clear lid. Provide shelter from the rain, dew, and other elements. The acquired product quality is superior to drying outdoors in the sun. And then the disadvantage, direct dryer made pollution from the environment, windborne debris and dirt and dust contamination, damage from excessive drying, insect infestations, development of microbes, additional losses during storage as a result of inadequate or uneven drying. Construction costs are high. After a certain time, maintenance is required. Then move to indirect dryer. The advantage is first, the rate of dehydration is faster when using a direct dryer. Slightly elevated dehydrating commodities and conserved flat plate solar collectors were used and gave an excellent outcomes dehydrating performance. It also appropriate for low or small scale farms. This method prevents contamination of the finished product. It is a far more effective method of solar drying than the direct form. Prevent direct solar radiation exposure to preserve product quality. Some products dry more quickly than others. Final product conditions are not based on the condition of natural phenomena. And the disadvantage, first, construction costs are high, and after a certain time, maintenance is required. And advantage and disadvantage of mixed dryer. First, the advantage is accelerated drying with safe product moisture levels. Compared to other drying methods, drying takes less time. And the disadvantage, agrofood capacity is very less. Grain dried over a year has a worse quality than dried using an indirect form of dryer. The cost of maintenance and the required capital cost is higher. Solar thermal dryers combine solar energy with thermal energy storage to ensure a continuous and efficient drying process for agricultural products, especially vegetables and fruits. The drying process requires precise temperature and humidity control to maintain product quality and prevent spoilage. Thermal energy storage systems, such as those using phase change material (PCM) or sensible heat storage, are essential for storing excess solar energy to be used during periods of low solar radiation. The choice of storage material depends on various factors, including the desired temperature range and the type of solar collector used. Thermal energy storage technologies play a crucial role in optimizing the performance of solar thermal dryers and promoting sustainable agriculture. The use of solar dryers integrated with energy storage system for efficient food dehydration. This system enhances the performance of solar dryers by providing a continuous supply of heat, even during periods of low solar radiation. By incorporating sensible and lateral heat storage materials such as engine oil, paraffin, and packed bed materials, the dehydration process can be accelerated and extended beyond daylight hours. Several studies have demonstrated the effectiveness of this integrated system. For instance, a solar dryer with energy storage significantly reduced the dehydration time for Jatamansi food compared to open sun drying. Similarly, a solar dryer with a forced convection system and an absorbent bed improve the drying rate and efficiency for bitter gourd slices. These advancements in solar drying technology offer promising solutions for sustainable food preservation, especially in regions with abundant solar radiation. Hybrid drying system. Hybrid drying system combine solar technology with additional energy sources such as phase change materials or thermal chemicals. PCM can store heat energy when the sun is shining and release it at night, ensuring the drying process continues. Sorbents such as bentonite can be used to absorb moisture from the air, improving drying efficiency. Improved drying efficiency. An efficient solar collector design can improve drying performance. The use of appropriate heat-absorbing materials can increase energy storage capacity. Then, optimization of airflow in the dryer can improve the efficiency of the drying process. Sensible thermal energy storage materials in different solar dryers. First, sand. With sand as an energy storage material in an indirect solar dryer, fruits and vegetables are dried 12 hours faster than without energy storage material. And with sand, in other case, copra in the indirect forced convection solar dryer. In the lower and upper bins, the moisture content was reduced from 51.78% to just 7.77% and 9.63% after 32 hours. When compared to the dryer without sand material, the drying rate was faster. And with rock bed materials, with the rock bed as the energy storage material in the solar air heater, the coriander was dried for more than 13 hours and the moisture level was reduced from 73% to 53%. Without the rock bed, the drying process was complete in 3 days. With other materials, with pebbles as an energy storage materials in the solar drying integrated with packed bed, the exergy efficiency of the dye drying system increased from 54.7% to 68.4% when using TS pebbles. The modified solar dryer by adding a PCM container inside the drying chamber gave the result that incorporation of PCM in the drying chamber has more impactful. The same will be used to carry out the drying process and the nutritional value of the dried product will be assessed and studied. As for what happens The ambient air is blown into the collector, flowing above and below the absorbent channel coated with black material. During the day, this absorber heats up as it absorbs sunlight. The heat from the absorber is then transferred to the air through the process of forced convection, so that the air flowing inside the collector becomes hot. This hot air is then channeled into the drying chamber and exhausted by a fan, allowing the tomatoes inside to dry faster. Paraffins, salt hydrates, metal alloys, and graphite composites are common material types used in thermal energy storage systems. Each has unique characteristics that make them suitable for specific applications. Paraffin, for example, is a hydrocarbon that undergoes a phase change from solid to liquid at a certain temperature, making it very effective in storing latent energy. Salt hydrates also utilize the principle of phase change, but involve hydration and dehydration process. Metal alloys such as aluminum or iron store energy in the form of sensible heat. Meanwhile, graphite composites have high thermal conductivity, making them ideal for applications that require rapid heat transfer. Proper material selection will depend on factors such as operating temperature, desired energy density, cost, and material life cycle. More specifically, paraffin often used in small to medium scale as it has a high energy density and adjustable phase change temperature. Salt hydrates suitable for low temperature applications and have a large energy storage capacity. Metal alloys have durable and have a good thermal conductivity, but lower energy density compared to phase change material. And graphite composites can be an ideal materials for applications that require fast and efficient heat transfer. To evaluate the performance of solar dryers, many methods and processes are developed based on many advantages, such as energy efficiency, drying time, and product quality. In solar drying, thermal performance is a reliable indicator for studying system advantage and can be measured using energy analysis. Energy performance is based on the first law of thermodynamics, which takes into account the quantity of energy and the change of energy against environmental change. However, the drawback of energy analysis is that it only considers the energy at the system inlet and outlet, and it is sometimes considered insufficient for system optimization because it ignores irreversibility and thermodynamic losses. In general, energy analysis of solar dryers can be performed on two main components: the drying system and the drying materials. The drying system of a solar dryer includes the solar absorber unit, the drying chamber, and the movement of heated drying air throughout the system. In summary, energy analysis on solar dryer components are generally performed by applying heat transfer and energy balance based on the conservation of energy principles of the first law of thermodynamics. Determination of the thermal performance of a solar dryer is important to achieve maximum moisture removal using minimum amount of energy. To evaluate the thermal capacity of solar dryer components, including its solar collector, the amount of useful heat Ku that can be utilized from the solar collector can be calculated using the heat dissipation factor Fr and the incident solar radiation IT. In addition, Ku is also affected by the surface area and type of material used, that it can formulated by Ku equal with Fr times AC times ITRA minus UL times temperature change. And the energy used for water evaporation can be calculated by energy evaporation equal with water mass times enthalpy. The thermal efficiency of a solar collector is the ratio of heat gained by the air passing through the collector to the energy gained from solar radiation per surface area. The ratio of energy required to evaporate the moisture content of the product to the energy consumed for the drying process. And in a hybrid system, typically a photovoltaic thermal PVT hybrid dryer, the electrical efficiency of the solar collector is measured as the system takes in electricity in the generation of the energy. The selection of TES method depends on factors such as storage capacity, cost, temperature range, duration requirements, as well as the specific application. And this table can help us to choose materials according to our needs. Sensible heat storage materials are typically based on relatively low-cost materials and thus extensively used, except the liquid metals. Due to the relatively good thermal stability, heat transfer performance, and transport properties, sensible heat storage materials are the most used TES materials for high-temperature applications. Compared to latent heat storage, the specific heat of sensible heat storage material is 50 times to 100 times smaller, leading to the requirement of large volumes or quantities to deliver the amount of energy storage necessary for high-temperature thermal energy applications. The other main issue of sensible heat storage is that the temperature of the storage medium decreases during discharging process, so the heat transfer fluid temperature also decreases with the time. Latent heat storage with PCM has a large latent heat of fusion, so it can store more amount of heat than sensible heat storage. This large difference gives PCM the advantage of a high energy storage density, which reduces the volume of the TES vessel and the outer wall surface area and minimize heat loss. Compared to sensible heat storage, the discharging process of the latent heat storage can maintain the temperature constant and make the contacting medium like heat transfer fluid or the adjacent space temperature stable. However, the main drawback of latent heat storage is the low thermal conductivity of PCMs. Moreover, the heat transfer design and media selection are more difficult, and the experience with low temperature PCM, like inorganic salts, has shown that the performance of the materials can degrade after moderate number of freezing melting cycles. The thermochemical heat storage system is unique and suitable for solar energy storage owing to its advantage. High, high volumetric storage density, low volume requirement, long energy preservation duration periods with limited heat loss, low storage temperature, ambient temperature, and unlimited transport distance. However, it also has some issues to be tackled, such as poor reactivity and reversibility of reaction, harsh reaction condition, toxic and corrosive product from reaction, and currently, most studies are conducted at laboratory scale. Large-scale tests are needed to verify the feasibility and durability of long-term thermal energy storage. Furthermore, the criteria of material selections for thermochemical heat storage should be established. Due to the wide availability of solar drying system in practice, the development of solar dryer technologies needs to be based on empirical knowledge of its energy profile and the anticipated performance over its expected lifetime. The information acquired from the literature is to identify and improve the quality of the products, plant operation costs, energy conservation, fuel versatility, and pollutants. In addition, selection of the right dryers must take into consideration the user needs and the end use of dried products, thus requiring the evaluation of the following domains: the impact of solar dried products on quality of the dry product, the economics of dried product, and environmental issues are studied for a better understanding of the solar energy conservation for post-harvesting process. Due to the widespread use of sun drying systems in daily life, the advancement of solar dryer methods must take their energy profile and predicted performance over their estimated lifetimes into considerations. Literature-based knowledge is used to evaluate and enhance product quality, plant operation cost, energy efficiency, and emissions. The user needs and the intended use of the dried goods must also be taken into account when choosing the appropriate dryers, necessitating an assessment of the following domains. The quality of dried agricultural produce is influenced by several factors, including physical, biological, chemical, and nutritional properties. Improper dehydration techniques can lead to significant losses in nutritional value and degradation of the product. To maintain quality, it is crucial to control factors such as temperature, humidity, and airflow during the drying process. High temperatures can accelerate drying but may also damage the product's color, texture, and flavor. Lower temperatures, while slower, can help preserve quality. The choice of drying methods, whether direct or indirect solar drying, can also impact the final product. Direct solar drying may lead to more significant color change and nutrient loss compared to indirect drying. The physical properties of dried products, such as texture, color, and shape, are significantly affected by the drying process. Additionally, chemical and enzymatic reaction can occur during dehydration, potentially impacting the product's flavor and overall quality. To assess the quality of dried products, various factors are considered, including sensory evaluation, nutritional analysis, and rehydration capacity. But carefully controlling the drying process and selecting appropriate techniques, it is possible to produce high-quality dried agricultural products. First, sensory attributes. Analysis sensory assessment for quality is mixture of multiple perception sense that comes into play while deciding what to eat and how much to eat. Type of variable is color, homogeneity, size, and shape. Remarks: chemically, test attributes may be approximate, but their optimum in terms of customer choice differs. Second, rehydration attributes. Rehydration capacity describes the amount to which it can restore lost moisture. Type of variables: appearance, texture, aroma, and flavor. Remarks: rehydration capacity of dried fruit is discovered to be influenced by cell wall, intercellular tissue, and pectin component. Third, nutritional attributes. The analysis is the organic characteristics. Type of variables: sugar and ash level, ascorbic acid or vitamin C level, acidity level, and beta-carotene level. Remarks: high amount of acidity level indicates degraded quality because of fermentations. The economic and financial analysis of solar dryers reveals their potential to reduce costs and improve product quality compared to the traditional drying methods. While solar dryers are initially capital intensive, it offers long-term benefits such as lower operational costs, reduced reliance on fossil fuels, and higher quality products. The economic viability of solar dryers depends on various factors, including the type of dryer, climatic conditions, and the specific products being dried. In some cases, solar dryers have proven to be economically advantaged, particularly for cash crops. However, its economic feasibility may vary for other products, such as vegetables. Thermoeconomic analysis is a valuable tool for optimizing the design and operating of solar dryers. By considering both thermodynamic and economic factors, this approach can help identify cost-effective solutions for improving dryer performance. Additionally, solar dryers have the potential to significantly reduce carbon emission associated with traditional drying methods. The energy cost saving is determined on monthly savings monthly (SM) dependent on the percentage of time when the solar dryer is used (PR). The dryer energy consumption for operation each month energy monthly, and the cost of electricity of 1 unit of kilowatt per hour called pkWh, shown as this equation. SM equals with PR times energy monthly times cost electricity for 1 unit of kilowatt per hour. And the simple payback period for the dryer system were determined by Payback period equals with cost dryer divided by SM. Cost-benefit analysis can be used to compare the economic efficiency and sustainability of solar dryers with other drying methods, considering factors such as size, materials, and operating conditions. Most drying systems use electricity as source of energy, resulting in high operating costs and environmental issues due to increased greenhouse gases emissions. Because of this reason, farmers and scientists have turned their focus to clean energy technologies like solar and thermal energy, which can be used directly or indirectly. The consumed energy of the solar dryer is advised to be calculated with help of indicators like carbon mitigation, carbon dioxide emissions, and embodied energy. It has been discovered that a solar dryer system with a 40% efficiency level can reduce conventional energy usage by 27% to 80%. The fan consumes 5% of the total energy used in the first ventilation's greenhouse dryer. Conventional and solar dryer collectively can save energy up to 20% to 40% by utilizing electrical energy for 275 days at 100 kilowatt hour per day. The drying system with hot air produces carbon dioxide of around 15 tons per year. Finally, it was determined that using solar dryers possibly will diminish emissions of carbon dioxide when related to general non-conventional drying methods. Conclusion and future outlook. Hybrid solar dryer systems require new, more efficient and thermal energy storage material to improve system performance. Commonly used thermal energy storage materials such as sand and stone have limitations such as low thermal conductivity and high pressure drop at high flow rates. Different types of solar dryers have been described, ranging from traditional methods to the latest technologies that incorporate with energy storage material. The main goal of developing solar dryer technologies is to produce large quantities of high-quality dehydrated product, especially by integrating energy storage materials such as PCM, phase change materials, and different drying methods give varying results in terms of dehydration rate and product quality. Solar dryers have great potential to reduce post-harvest damage to agricultural products, especially in developing countries. The technology can also contribute to more sustainable food production. The main challenge is to find the optimal thermal energy storage material with high density and good thermal conductivity. Future research needs to focus on development on new thermal energy storage materials, optimizations of dryer design, as well as study of pre-treatment of food materials to improve drying efficiency. Better drying technologies need to be developed to minimize nutrient and aroma loss during the drying process. The design and operation of solar dryers need to be optimized to obtain maximum results. And solar dryer technology still has the potential to be further developed, for example, by combining with other technologies such as vacuum or microwave. That's all from me. Thank you. We can do further discussion with this email. See you in other change.